We're going on a road trip!
Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm taking you along on a quick 2-day trip to Akyaka, a small coastal town in southwest Turkey. It's a bit of a hidden gem known for its slow pace, beautiful nature, and that mix of sea and mountains that makes it feel really peaceful. I'll be showing you what we got up to, what we ate, and a few spots worth checking out if you ever find yourself in the area. Let's get into it!
Follow me.
Akyaka is a small town on Turkey's southwestern coast, about 104 kilometers from Fethiye, where the Azmak River meets the sea. It started out as a quiet fishing village, and nearby you'll find traces of ancient history like the ruins of Idima from around the 4th century BC. For a long time, Akyaka stayed pretty under the radar. It wasn't until the 1970s and 80s that it became attracting attention, mostly from Turkish artists and architects drawn to its calm atmosphere and natural beauty. To be honest, I always thought of Akyaka as just a small town, kind of a boring place, nothing too special. But after visiting, that impression completely changed. There's something about that mix of mountains, river, and sea that just feels different. It's peaceful, but not in a dull way, more like in a way that makes you want to slow down and stay a little longer. We left the car in the town center and started walking down towards the beach on foot. It's a really lovely walk, quiet streets, lots of greenery, and what stands out most is the architecture. Almost all the houses follow the same traditional style known as Akyaka architecture. It's actually inspired by the work of architect Nail Çakırhan, who blended local Ula traditions with Ottoman and Aegean design. Think wooden balconies, whitewashed walls, and tiled roofs. The whole town has this really cohesive, charming look that makes the walk down to the beach feel kind of timeless. So this is the road going to the beach. We're gonna go right there and sip on something really cold. Akyaka's beach strip runs along the edge of the Gulf of Yokova and stretches for about 1.5 kilometers. It's not huge, but it's got a relaxed, laid-back vibe with shallow, calm waters that make it great for families and casual swimmers. The beach is mostly sandy with a few pebbly patches, and there are cafes and restaurants lining the promenade just behind it. As for the water, it's usually pretty cool, thanks to the nearby Azmac River feeding it into the sea. In spring and autumn, it can feel a bit brisk, around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. In the summer, it warms up to about 23 to 25 degrees Celsius, which is still refreshing, especially on really hot days. It's not the warmest water you'll find on the coast, but it's definitely one of the clearest. As you turn left from the beach, you'll find a little row of souvenir shops lining the street. They sell a bit of everything: ceramics, handmade jewelry, magnets, and all the usual bits you might want to bring back home. It's a nice spot for a slow browse after the beach. This area is also where you can hop on one of the river cruises along the Azmac River. The boats leave from just a few steps away, and it's definitely worth doing if you want to see more of the natural side of Akyaka.
So after walking through the marina, we stopped at Moto Patisserie and we got ourselves an iced latte.
The cafe we were sitting at had this perfect view over the Azmac River. It was right by the water, so we could watch all the boats drifting past while we had our drinks. Tourists were coming and going, taking river cruises, some with cameras out, others just quietly taking it all in. The water is so clear you can even see the fish swimming under the surface. Akyaka tends to attract a pretty specific kind of traveler. It's not really the place for big resort crowds or partygoers. Most of the tourists here are either local families, couples looking for a quiet getaway, or people into nature and slower travel. Things like paddleboarding, yoga retreats, and just unplugging for a while. It feels a lot more low-key and relaxed compared to the bigger tourist towns along the coast. Even though Akyaka is a small resort town, the food and drink options are surprisingly varied, from fresh seafood and traditional Turkish dishes to pizza, burgers, and vegan-friendly spots. There's really something for everyone. Whether you're after a quick bite, a riverside dinner, or just good coffee, you won't have trouble finding a place that hits the spot. The Azmac River in Akyaka is a true natural wonder. Stretching approximately 1.8 kilometers, it originates from Sakar Hill and flows into the Gulf of Gökova. Known locally as Kadın Azmağı or Women's Stream, the river earned its name due to the tradition of women gathering here to wash clothes, turning it into a communal space for both work and socializing. The river's waters are remarkably clear and cold, maintaining a temperature of around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius year-round. This unique feature, combined with its rich biodiversity, has earned it the nickname Natural Aquarium. Visitors can spot various species such as mullet, sea bass, trout, water snakes, turtles, otters, ducks, geese, and moorhens. The Azmac River is also a designated first-degree natural conservation site, emphasizing its ecological importance. Akyaka itself has a rich history, with the Azmac River playing a central role in the community's daily life. The river's significance is highlighted by its inclusion in the area recognized as Cheetah Slow or Slow City, a designation that promotes sustainable tourism and preservation of local culture. For those looking to experience the Azmac River up close, the boat cruises are a must. These 20-minute tours offer an intimate glimpse into the river's serene beauty. The boats, accommodating up to 12 passengers, glide through the crystal-clear waters, allowing for unobstructed views of the lush vegetation and diverse wildlife. Along the way, knowledgeable guides share insights into the river's ecosystem and the surrounding area's history. It's a peaceful journey that connects visitors with nature in a way that's both educational and relaxing. Whether you're a nature enthusiast, a photography lover, or someone seeking tranquility, the Azmac River offers an unforgettable experience that showcases the natural beauty and cultural heritage of Akyaka. As we floated down the river, one of the hotels really caught our eye, the Kerme Ottoman Palace. It stood out with its traditional architecture and huge green spaces that looked incredibly well kept. The place had such an authentic and inviting feel to it, we immediately said we'd love to stay there next time we visit. These boat tours aren't just relaxing, they also give you a closer look at the natural beauty and charm that makes Akyaka so special. While wandering through the narrow streets just behind the beach, we stumbled across this average-looking restaurant. Nothing fancy, just a small tucked-away spot, but honestly, it turned out to be one of the best surprises of the whole trip. The food was incredible. We had fried calamari, mussels, sardines, and some really fresh, colorful salad. Everything was perfectly cooked and full of flavor. And the best part, it was £8 each. Each dish was around 400 TL, so that makes it around £8. Great food, great price. It was one of those unexpected finds that makes exploring places like Akyaka so worth it. Akyaka's beach has a really peaceful, laid-back feel to it. The water is shallow and calm, perfect for a relaxing swim or just floating around. What's great is that you don't need much to enjoy it. A lot of people bring their own chairs or blankets, find a quiet spot, and unwind with their favorite drink as the sun goes down. Just behind the beach, there is a national park with pine trees and walking paths, which we didn't get the chance to explore this time, but is definitely on our list for the next visit. Since it's May, the weather was mostly nice, but we did get a bit of rain that evening. Still, the whole atmosphere stayed calm and cozy. It just added to the charm, really.
And that's about it from rainy Akyaka. If you have any places you'd like to see from Akyaka, please leave them in the comments. Or if you want to recommend any place we can go in Akyaka, make sure to write them down in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment so that this video reaches more people. Until next time, bye!